channel. It's going to be a little different. I'm going to be talking about my fashion. I'm going to be talking about my illustration journey and how it has evolved over the years. Ever since I was small, I always loved to draw and illustrate. I was self-taught. It wasn't basically until like when I was in high school and I took a fashion design class that I got more interested in fashion sketches and illustrations. If you have followed me through Instagram, you have also seen how I shared a lot of fashion illustrations, and I thought it was a great idea for you guys to get to see how much it has changed. When it comes to art, I feel like there's no right or wrong. It's a way of self-expressing who you are. So I'm going to be showing you guys how it has evolved, and of course the items that I use to create these beautiful fashion sketches that are unique and help show my personality. Okay, so I'm basically going to divide this video into 4 parts. The first part, I'm going to be talking about the supplies that I use to create my illustrations. The second part will be my beginning illustrations. Part 3 will be how they have evolved from my first batch of fashion illustrations. Part 4 will be my illustrations and such sketches, how they look now. Since we're going to be talking about supplies, many different people use many different supplies, and there's so many out there that you can get in, online or any store. And so I'm going to show you guys the items that I use to create my illustrations. It is different for everyone. Some items work for some people, some items don't. Okay, the first thing I'm going to talk about is basically this worn down pencil case. So inside my pencil case, I basically have colored pencils. I have these pencils that were gifted in my orientation when I first started Parsons, which was the beginning of this year. Yeah, so it's like this, Blick Studios. I also hold every type of colored pencil that I've owned throughout these past few years. There's no specific brand. I use any type of color pencil, and whatever works, that's what I use for my illustrations. So they're all stored in here. For small details, I use very thin type pen. This is basically from Artist Loft. I still have the box, even though I've had this for years. It's Artist Loft Academic Level 1 illustration pens, and this basically had 8 pieces. This was what I first used in the beginning when I started getting very serious with my illustration. I've lost a lot of them. I only have 0.5, 0.3, 0.1. So it looks like this, and these are the pens. So as the numbers go lower, that's how thinner the points are. 0.5 is the thickest. It looks like this. You can't tell, but this is the thickest. And then since I lost 0.1, I can't show you guys. 0.3 looks like this, but I don't know if you could tell. So this is basically a type of black pen for like fine details, but this is what I used to use. I still use it because I feel like they're still very useful and they do the job. Next item, markers. So you can see it's like the color of the rainbow. They're very bright colors. The brand is called Artify. It says draw, paint, sketch. They are numbered, like this one right here. This one's called Salmon Pink. Looks like this. Number 25. I have another one, Cool Gray, CG6. They're very highly pigmented, and the only problem that I have with these is it inks through. So every time I would have to use this, I would have to put like a scrap of paper underneath the paper that I was illustrating on, only because it would bleed through. But other than that, these are really highly pigmented, and I mean like really high. Like if you want something really, really pink, this will do a great job. If these didn't bleed through, these would be perfect for anything. But I still use them and I still like them, so they're still very useful to me. This is Artify. Okay. We're going to talk about the Tombow Dual Brush Pens. This is the pastel palette. It says it's brush and fine tip in one pen. It's water-based and it's blendable. So this is how this looks like. It has 10 dual brush pen, and I not only use these for my illustrations. If you have followed my channel, I have done like my bullet journal, and I have used these. These are actually very, very useful. These are pigmented, but the colors are very pastel. I mean, this is literally the palette that I bought, pastel palette. So that's why they're very like light color. But I actually love these type of markers because these do not bleed through, but they are kind of light. But I love these markers. These markers do the job pretty good. Okay, next one. This is my favorite one. I have used this one since forever. Another marker set from Artist Loft. It says Artist Level 2. There are 6 pieces, and it says dual tip sketch markers and portrait. I had been trying to look for markers that sort of, when I color in, they would be the the color of the skin. With these, I did find a way to sort of blend colors. I love the way that it would give that natural look, and I wouldn't have to use several markers to do that. I could just use 2 or even 1. It's great. And it has, I could show you, bam, look at these. So I could show you how one marker looks like. This is one of the markers. Other colors for the skin that I would use. It just depended on what I was drawing. So these are the colors. The last item that I'm going to be talking about are these amazing micro pens, right? So ever since I bought these have been like life-changing. Not that the other ones don't work great, but the fact that I have an 005, it is so, like it gets the job done for showing very, very small details. The 0.005 is the best. This is the one that I use the most. The 08, I use it for like an outer lining of the illustration, and the 05 can also be used as an outer lining. But then again, everyone uses micro pens differently. That's how I use them to serve my purpose of when I'm illustrating. I can show you the 005. It is so thin and so small, but it is so like inked. Like when you use this, it's like, wow. So this is great. I didn't mention pencils because honestly, when I sketch with any type of pencil. It could literally be a lead pencil. It can be a pencil like this, or it could be literally a number 2 pencil. Any pencil that I use, I just use it and create whatever it is I'm trying to create. Also erasers, any eraser works for me. As long as it gets the job done and it comes out the way, and I get that satisfying feeling of like, yes, it turned out the way I wanted it. I'm all for any product to use. So let's go to part 2. Now I'm going to show you the illustrations that I created in the beginning of this whole fashion illustration journey. I am first going to show you how my croquis looked before. I'm not sure if I'm saying croquis correctly. Maybe it's croquet. I'm not sure, but I'm going to show you how my croquis looked in the beginning. I honestly haven't used croquis anymore. I just sort of just go with the flow. Again, art has no rules. Art has no boundaries. Art is about self-expression. These are basically my first croquis. Here's one. I know this was basically the beginning of when I started taking fashion illustration seriously, and I really wanted to see if I could draw some type of croquis. I don't know if I used the 8-head method, 9-head method, 10-head method. There are very different head methods that I know are out there that help any type of illustrator or sketch artist create their croquis. So in the beginning, I used to use these as a guide for me when I wanted to create fashion illustrations. If you have followed me on this channel, you might have seen some of these drawings that I'm about to show you right now. This was when I was really trying to share my fashion illustrations with my passion for creating style videos, lookbooks, and all of that. And I wanted to do illustrations based on looks that I styled in lookbooks. So a lot of these were from there. So this is the first one. I know for sure, I don't know if I shared it, but it's in one of the lookbooks from like years ago that I did this illustration. But this is how it looks. Here's another one as well. Look at her. This looks very 2D. I don't know what I was thinking about with her legs, but you know what? I was very damn proud to be showing this online. And I have not deleted any of my past videos. And so I'm pretty sure this one's still up. Here's another one. And I feel like we should always be proud of our work, whether they're come out looking great or not, or whether we cringe when we look back at them, but it's just great to look back at. All right, so going on to the next one. I have, look at this. This is a really old sketchbook and I still have my sister's handwriting on it. So this was a gift from my sister on my 23rd birthday. She said, got you a sketchbook to get better at drawing. Happy 23, Bridget. And pencils, because you suck at keeping pencils, so here's 12. This is so old. Before, I used to draw on white paper. Then once I got this book, I was like, okay, cool, now I could keep everything in one book. I'm going to open this and show you guys the inside and different types of illustrations.
The first one, when you open this book,
is this one right here. Here's another portrait that's my favorite. The illustration that I created based on the look. I don't know, I really liked it, so I wanted to try something new and I created this. This is actually the first one in the book that shows me using the Artify markers. I said it before, these markers are very highly pigmented. You could see how the colors really stand out. I do love using these markers again because they give like a really vibrant color to the illustration. Also, I could show you how pigmented it was and it could leak through the paper. You could see it here, which is why I always had to put an extra sheet of paper underneath. So this is another one. I was inspired by Ecuador. If nobody knows, my parents are from Ecuador. I'm Ecuadorian American. And I really love their vibrant colors and everything. And I just wanted to do something fun, so I created this. This was my first sketchbook. And there are still much more sketchbooks. So let's go to part 3. All right, so part 3 is going to be short and sweet because again, I don't want to bore you with all the illustrations that I have done. Now I'm going to be showing you for part 3 my second sketchbook and how it basically looks different from my first sketchbook. So this is it. This is my second sketchbook. Again, like I said, I like Artist Loft. I didn't even realize this one was from Artist Loft, but I like their products. This video is not sponsored, by the way. I just like their products. I haven't used this one completely there. So let's start with the first one. And again, all my illustrations are based off my style. So I have worn this before. This is another one. Here's another one. I clearly was inspired by Christmas. Yes, that's the one. This sort of gives me the Grinch Stole Christmas vibes, basically the movie. I don't own this. This was just basically my imagination. I don't have a large candy cane anywhere in the house. All right, here's another one. One of the things that's actually really funny and I forgot to mention, the eyes of all my illustrations are really kind of weirdish looking. My sister said they look like Coraline. Let me know if they actually look like Coraline. But I don't know, for some reason I've never drawn what is it, pupils? Yeah, I don't really draw the eyes, like the pupil of the eye, because every time I drew them they looked really creepy looking, and then even when I didn't draw them, I guess some of them will look like Coraline. But yeah, if you notice, I don't know if you could see it, even with her, she does not have a pupil. She literally just has an eye. I liked in the end how they always turned out, even if they didn't have pupils. Now let's on to part 4. Alright, so we are up to the ending of the video. So if nobody knows, I have recently gone back to school. I am part of the AAS program in Parsons. Being part of the program has really pushed my illustrations further. Like, I'm obviously learning different techniques to, help my illustration grow. I'm taking an advanced fashion drawing class. So I know that's going to help me a lot with my drawing skills. And I thought it would be great to show you guys, this is basically where I'm at now, how much really it has changed. So
this is the first one.
This book is filled with a lot of different things, including my Zendaya collage. I actually like how this one turned out. She looks so pretty. So
this is actually how my
illustrations look now. They look like this. The goal for this was printing out images of models who were posing in different ways and then translating them into fashion sketches. This is my level, I guess. Again, I don't like putting labels or like levels because everyone draws and illustrates and does their artwork differently, but this is basically where I'm at when it comes to my illustrations. This is great because this shows like how great the micro pens are. 0.005 basically helps me create the details of the eyes. These actually have eyes. If anyone notices, I actually drew pupils on this one, sort of. So their eye sockets are not empty. They have actually little pupils in here. They don't look as creepy, but I feel like they came out pretty good. This was actually for a collection that I was creating for one of my classes. This is the last book.
I'm going to skip through and just show you the illustrations.
So again, this was me creating a collection. And this is basically all color rendered with my Artify markers. And again, you notice how highly pigmented they are. I love how highly pigmented they are, but again, they bleed through. No big deal though. They still get the job done. Just wanted to show you these because again, these are my most recent. Okay, if you have managed to watch this whole entire video, thank you so much. I just thought it would be a really nice way to show my illustration journey. I really am glad that I kept everything from the beginning to the end. Basically where it all started, my passion for fashion that actually rhymes. But anyways, yeah, I am actually really glad that I kept everything. It's just great to look back at. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and you know, maybe you get inspired to pursue your hobby, you know, to grow in whatever, you know, platform or form it is that you guys enjoy doing. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to subscribe down below. Make sure to follow me on Instagram as well, so you can follow my style journey. And I also post on my stories a lot of the creations that I do, whether it's illustrating or sewing, whatever it may be. You can always follow me on LNC Style. So thank you guys so much for joining me on this nice long video, and I'll see you guys next week.